Hello, 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 and welcome to the Heart, Mind, and Voice Show. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. How-
So happy to be here tonight. I'm having a little technical difficulty tonight, so you only hear me and not see this gorgeous face, but you can see the other two fabulous and gorgeous ladies on tonight. It's your girl, Coach Shalonda. We have Miss Serious K
Hello.
and Miss Queen A tonight.
Hello.
Woohoo! So, hello, HMB fam. We miss you guys. We're so excited to be here with you on tonight and discuss some of these amazing, hot, blazing topics that we have on tonight. But before we get started, we always want to know how was our week and how's everything going. So, how was your week, ladies?
It was
Um,
good.
Good,
Hi,
good.
good.
Nikki. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hello,
hey,
Nikki.
Nikki.
Hi,
We could
Nikki.
have had her on with us. It was good. Coach Lottie, it's like you on the radio.
Yeah.
Oh, I sound that professional.
Yes, it
Yeah, it
sounds
does sound like a
really
radio
good.
broadcast.
I know.
Um,
Yeah, yes. Give me more. Tell me more.
Your voice is definitely meant for radio.
Oh,
hmm
well,
My week was good. I had it was a very, really, really good week. It was a lot of work though. I had so much work to do. Like I have my side business as well as, a regular job. So it's been a lot of work. It's just I've been up to like 4 or 5 in the morning. So I'm glad that yesterday and today I was able to catch up on a little bit of rest. So I'm happy about that.
that's
awesome.
good.
What about you, Miss Series K?
Yeah, my week was similar. Just a busy week. Work, more work, more work, work. Less play. But other than that, it was blessed. It was a great week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
My
My week
son,
was. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say my week was kind of busy, work, and busy, busy, busy. But today definitely ended on a great note. We celebrate the homegoing of my little brother.
Aw.
So that was very near and dear to my heart. At a very special occasion, to celebrate with family and friends and other special people that was a part of his life as well. So very excited, was very blessed
Yeah.
to be here. So very blessed about that. And um, the thing, and it was such a sweet spirit. Um, it was such a sweet spirit today that was just present among
Mhm.
all of us because a lot of you know the condition of my little brother, and to just know it was like a true celebration. And I said, wow, even in the celebration you can get all teary-eyed and just
hmm
not really cut up and get all on the floor and maybe fall into the hole like that lady did on Meet the Browns.
Yeah. You have to pull nobody out the dirt, huh?
I mean, right.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all that. But in the sense that with his condition he's no longer in that condition now. He's celebrating and excited. For many that don't know, he was he had a condition, and I'll just say, I'm not going to pronounce the doctor term because it's about 15 syllables, but he was brain damage. So, he had nurses around the clock, and he, progressed little time over, over time, he progressed and did little things, what we, many of us take for granted, on a
hmm
daily
Mhm.
basis. He couldn't experience that here on earth, but to know that he's laughing and talking and running around and having a better time than we are
hmm
right
Yes.
about now,
Yes.
that really causes you to really truly celebrate, because it's so hard to let loved ones go. It's nowhere near a celebration because we don't want to let
hmm
our loved one go.
Mhm.
But then when you really get to be in the moment, you
Mhm.
really can understand a lot and appreciate a lot. And then the one person that brought, we have a matriarch in the family that's 102 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if I tell you she was walking around better than all of us with a cane, with a cane,
Okay.
she was hitting the males, telling them to get out of her way because she wanted to make her rounds. 102. And if I tell you all I could do was pick up good energy from her at 102 years old, isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Okay. Mm.
So it was good. And then I got a little other sad news. Now this is hard for me. Don't y'all pick on me. But the family cat passed away, and now
Oh
cat happened.
Lord.
I, I don't mean to laugh, but
You
we
know
all
what?
know Coach
Mm.
Shalonda love cats, and every she sent us memes with a whole bunch of cats, and she is like a cat fanatic. So when she mentioned it, I didn't mean to laugh. I felt so really felt bad, but at the same time, like yeah, she really took it hard.
Hmm.
Yes, the family cat has gone on to be with the cat lord. So we love and miss her as well. We know that she's enjoying all the cat. What's the feed?
Hmm.
Well, our condolences definitely to you, and
Yes.
I'm glad you get to spend time with family and loved ones, and
Hmm.
just be around, especially during this time. We really do need family
Hmm.
and friends.
Yes.
No
Yes.
matter what we're going through,
Definitely.
it's a good time to share with family and friends.
It
Hmm.
is. I'm
Yeah.
definitely grateful and blessed. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
our heart goes out to you and the family. Family, if y'all listening, our
Yes,
condolences from heart,
absolutely.
mind, and voice. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's definitely get into our show tonight, ladies. We're going to start off with our hot topic. Please, HMV fam, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Nikki. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just read that right in my mouth. I had to hunt for my glasses because I threw them somewhere. I'm not going to begin to tell y'all about that story. But, yeah. So our hot topic tonight, ladies. Lord have mercy. What is going on with the comedians of the world and people? I tell you, this world. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know, Queen A, if you have a astrological word for us, but something's got to give. I'm assuming something's got to give. But definitely, I don't know if many of you saw on the blogs and social media where Ti had a meltdown over one of the comedians that he went to, I guess, one of her shows. However, of course, now we know that they have made up. But I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the video of where he got on stage when she, when they said words, but it wasn't the joke about his allegations were not initiated by her until he made a statement towards her, and then she clapped back with you know something about well, she's going to change her wig, I believe, or the color of her wig, or the wig. I
Wow.
that wig though, but anyway, when he shared more about his cases or allegations, and yeah, that set it off for him right then and there.
Hmm.
But the question is, and what many has been asking, what joke would be, what can you not joke about, or what is going too far when it comes to joking, when it comes to the comedians, of course, in our generation and era. um they joke about a lot. I mean, everything. But I
Mhm.
don't know, ladies, what do you think would be a no to joke about, or
You
is
know,
everything okay?
she she said that nothing is off limits, but to me, in
Hmm.
my opinion, and I've heard other comedians say this, to me, kids and wives and family, I think that should be off limits. You know,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
I really do. Um, because of course you never know a person's conditions and what they're going through and things like that. And as far as like in the allegations and stuff with Ti and all that kind of stuff, like he said, there was never no, they never got charged with anything. They were just allegations, and he said they didn't do anything wrong, him and his wife, and things like that. So, just considering what they went through and the amount of time that they went through it, and some of the allegations that went forward, some true, some not, some I don't know. So it's kind of touchy for him, I'm sure, but I think in the beginning, I think she was joking about sex and stuff like that, and I think he took it personally, and
Yeah.
that's when he attacked. And then she said, well, okay, well, let's talk about the allegations. So I
Yeah.
don't know if she was referring to him or not, but he took it personally, I guess, because he had been on stage talking and he was right there. So I guess he thought that it was a personal attack. But yeah, I definitely think that family should be off limits. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. Queen A, what's your
Well,
thoughts?
I mean, it's just a sensitive time. I mean, it's just people are really you just never know what people are going through. And I would say ever since the pandemic, it's just been really a sensitive time. And so people need to be very mindful of the topics that they are bringing to the forefront and making jokes about, especially when it comes to allegations. Like, that's a very serious thing. And
Yeah.
so, he don't want to be, I mean, he did what he did, right? But he don't want to be known for the allegations against assault. He don't want that to be brought up again. He already had to deal with a lot going through that. So to be reminded of that and to make a joke of it, I think that's very insensitive. Comedians, they can hit below the belt though. Is
Yeah.
their act, is their, that's what they do, is their world. They're comedians. But I think it's a way to do it where it doesn't have to come across, in such a way. And then also you do it right in front of the person. Like, that's just total disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, but again, when it comes to astrology, again, we are at a very sensitive time. And, with the way the planets are aligned, like before we spoke about Aries, now the moon is in Cancer, which is extremely sensitive as well. And so we are in a time where you got to be mindful what you say to people and how you talk about people's lives. I mean, granted, they put their lives out. They think about Will Smith and his wife, and and T.I. and his wife, they kind of put their lives out there for people to really comment. And social media would, they would tear you up. So you put your life out there, you got to expect that it's going to happen. But for a comedian to do it in your face, I mean, that's really something that's serious and that will really hit home. And some people really just flip out over it. So you got to be mindful of
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying to people.
Mm-hmm. Like Nikki was saying, people are more sensitive now. Therapists are needed now more than ever. That's so
Mhm.
true. I have a client that's a counselor, a therapist, and she was saying that so many therapists are backed up, like they are overbooked, like booked for months and stuff like that. So they are really in need. That lets you know where the mental state is of the country right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's pretty bad.
I'm
That,
telling you.
yeah,
I
Mm-hmm.
that
mean, the good thing. Go ahead, Coach Yolanda.
I was just gonna say, it's a good thing that many are now going to counseling. I think that's excellent, especially in our culture that once upon a time dismissed it or looked at it as something's wrong, with me versus, I need some help in this area or that area. So, um, I count it's a bittersweet thing. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as the comedians, I think they should stay out of the audience when it comes to jokes. I agree with Nikki on that. Definitely. And I know that so many of them are raw, especially the ones that have really made it, you know what I'm saying? The ones that have really made it and aren't on top. Make jokes. I know they're gonna be hardcore, dark, edgy, but just be smart about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
be strategic about your jokes to
Mm-hmm.
a person have to think, and then once they get in the car and leave, oh dang, he was talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang, she
Mm-hmm.
meant me. She was talking about my shirt. But whatever the case may or whatever it may be, but just be more cognizant of your jokes and be more aware. Read the room,
Yes.
understand the audience that you're talking to and that you're gonna, be joking, things, and then understand the type because there are different types of comedians. Like I would not put um uh Will Smith and deal with he's not a comedian, but Will Smith is very funny. He's definitely could have his moment. I wouldn't put a Nick Cannon, I would say, because Will Smith never did stand up. He was way more, into the movies and stuff. But
Mhm.
I wouldn't put Nick Cannon, and I don't know, maybe you guys have heard that real low vulgar side, very raw side of Nick. I mean, Wild and Out, whatever. I don't really watch it, but even when if I do skim through it, I'm like, I still wouldn't put him next to a DL that would,
No,
you
Right.
know, demolish him.
right.
Or,
Yeah.
now Kevin Hart definitely I would say can hang with the DL, although Kevin Hart still I would say is a lightweight for me as for DL is tough and rough and hardcore. I mean,
Yeah,
woo,
he is.
he is truly a king of comedy. So you really got to, Cat Williams is vulgar. I don't know. You guys may like Cat Williams, but
I
he's
think he's hilarious.
you do. I think he's very I don't know. I look at him like I don't know what category because he do a lot of stunts in his act, his comedic act, and I don't know. I just put him in a different category. I don't know, but I know with just true raw comedy, DL and Cedric the Entertainer, of course, when Steve Harvey was doing stand up, and truly those kings and Earthquake. It's been a while. I don't know if you guys used to listen to him a lot. He was kind of rough,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nikki
but
Green
yeah,
said she loved Cat Williams. I love him too. He's a Virgo. He's one of me. He's a Virgo, so that I definitely love him for that.
he's
But
very
Cat Williams, most of the time he high.
When he
yes.
first came out, I liked him, but then later on, I could see that he was on there just high. I'm like, this
See,
nigga,
see, I knew it was
he wasn't
something.
funny to me. I was like, he's just high, talking crazy.
Yes, it's something about him. Like, what is it? So that's what it is. He's
And
Snoop
he's
Dogg.
dramatic. That's what I love because
Yeah.
he's dramatic. Yeah, and Nikki said his voice is funny. That
Yeah,
makes it
it
even more
is.
funny. But some of his stories is like I understand where he was coming from, but he's
Mm-hmm.
very dramatic and just
Yes,
like Nikki said, the way he sounds and everything just makes it. I mean, at the time he wasn't funny. I don't know what happened. I think he was on that stuff too much,
Yeah.
but but he was funny, and I think when he went through a period of his life where he was going through, he got arrested, and so many other things was going on, and I don't know if he got involved. This is allegedly, this just I don't know the whole story, but I think he got involved with other drugs, and after that, he just kind of took a toll. So
Yeah, I
but
think that he was. I think that he was in the military, and I think I remember him talking about. I don't know if he had PTSD or what type of mental illness that he had, but he was supposed to have been on medication for it.
oh,
So I think maybe he was off his meds or something.
that explains it.
Yeah, make him act like that.
Hmm.
wow,
Hmm.
crazy, crazy. Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, that's our take definitely on comedians.
But
I think now.
Coach Yolanda, with this new up and coming comedian, I think. Well, first of all, Chris Rock, he's a veteran, so he should have been mindful. But I think his joke was a little. It wasn't. It was a little. It wasn't to me. It wasn't. I don't. I gotta be careful with my words. It wasn't. It was rough in terms of what Jada's going through, but I don't think it was such a. Now I don't want to say a big deal, but I don't think it was something that was really like that caused the situation to happen the way it did. But with this woman, I think she's like she's up and coming, so she's probably learning her way through the comedian world, and what to joke about, what not to joke about, especially when it comes to Ti. I mean, he's ATL, he's all ATL, and then you come in and he was part of the stand up, and you come in and you just try to take over and just mention something about him. It's just that's like to me that's disrespect. So especially because he's been in the game, for a long time, and for a new up and coming community to come and just mention allegations, that's kind of rough and very low bow. That's definitely hitting below the belt.
Yeah, you can tell she need a lot of honing her skills and yeah, just a lot more getting out there and you know, um working on her craft because yeah, even the way she responded and I can't remember if I saw her interview talking to maybe one of the Breakfast Clubs member or something. She was talking and she was actually explaining what happened and about, how they made up and all that stuff. And I said, yes, you need a lot of work on. Some of them may need to come in as a lightweight, like Kevin Hart in the beginning. You know how he just blew up his tours and stuff, and he
Mhm.
just became just he's a top notch now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think
Mhm.
you may want to start off light and work your way. and it just depends. Because I know Monique did not start off lightweight, and whoo, I mean, of course she went through a journey, but she's back on top now. But
Mhm.
some people just have it, and some people might have to take a different route. But go ahead, Queen A.
What I like with Kevin Hart, especially when you think about Monique, like, her as a comedian and artist, they joke about their personal lives, not
Yeah.
so much
Oh
about,
yeah.
yeah, everyone else. And
Yeah.
so, so they're very mindful, not they tiptoe around others, and they're very mindful not to really go there when it comes to other people. But I've been to comedy clubs, and they're up and coming comedians, and they would joke, they would look at somebody in the audience and joke, and I thought that was kind of wrong, but they didn't really go there in terms of like making it so bad, where the person felt very uncomfortable. But they would reach out, they look at someone in the audience and kind of talk about the person, in a way, like, especially if you're sitting there with somebody, they kind of mention something. But it was funny, but at the same time, like, okay,
Yeah.
don't continue on. But Kevin Williams, and I mean, not Kevin Williams, sorry, Kevin Hart and Monique, they're very, they talked about their own personal experiences, which is made it,
Mhm.
they were really good at that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Well, moving on to a higher note, getting off these comedians, let's talk about, ladies, celebrating rejection. Celebrating Rejection Day, National Rejection Day, which was just this past week, April 6th, 2022. And we hear that it has, what is it? Sorry, Chart.
Yes.
Sorry,
I,
Charlie.
wait, you not it? But there's definitely a spin and a twist, clearly and obviously, on this day when Sirius K brought it up. At first, our mind goes to the obvious. What? Celebrate rejection. But then when you think about it, and you become aware of the twist, you're like, oh, well, yeah, that makes all the
Mhm.
sense in the world, because so many of us have been rejected in relationships and jobs, in the family. I mean, you name it, we've been rejected from it, and it has been for our greater good, to
Yeah.
say the least. So I would definitely say celebrating Rejection Day, National Rejection Day, can definitely be a day of celebration, because it can cause you to go back and reflect on your past rejections, and then to see where you would have been, and to look at where you are now. So, woohoo, let's
Mhm.
celebrate it, ladies. Queen A, what's your thought on celebrating, honey? Tell me.
Well, for one, when Series K brought it to our attention, I'm like, wow, I didn't even know it's actually a day where you celebrate rejection like that. It's good to know all these different things that came about. And, when you study the history of it, and understand Charlie, even when it comes to tuna, is a whole story around
Mhm.
that, which I didn't even know. So it was good that Series K brought that to our attention.
Yeah.
But I want to read something our producer had sent to us in terms of the history behind it. So she said, National Sorry Charlie Day on April 6th each year encourages us to view rejection from a different perspective. It's a day to think about the times we have been rejected, whether we've been rejected by a sweetheart or a college or a prospective employer or the bank for a loan. We've all been refused. The day also gives us an opportunity to reflect on how we survived the rejection and what we learned from it. So I think that's very powerful. And, especially
Mhm.
when I think about rejection, it's interesting because for those of you, I mean, who don't know, like, I ghostwrite other people's books. So one of my clients, I had to write something this week, and we were talking about being grateful, and also understanding how to redirect yourself when you've been rejected. So it's interesting how this all coming about. And this is what we had to learn. This is what I had to learn, because I can say I've been rejected in so many areas, so many times. It got to the point where I'm like, well, God, but it causes you to create your own way. And when you've been rejected, whether it's from an employer, a relationship, or, whatever, it causes you to, sometimes we begin to wallow in that rejection and not think about sometimes the rejections for our protection or for our redirection. So we have to learn that sometimes when we reject it, just thank God for it. Just say thank God for it, because perhaps it just wasn't the season for that opportunity at that time. maybe it's not an opportunity. But we have to look at a rejection in a different way. So just hearing that, I'm learning to just celebrate rejection. I'll be mad as hell, but after that, we'll celebrate it. So after that, I am learning to celebrate, rejection, and thank God that, now I'm learning even more so now to trust God in his direction. Because sometimes we want a certain path in our lives. And sometimes God wants something totally different. Now, I'm not saying it's for everybody, because you got to be tuned in with spirit. I'm someone who's very tuned in with God, and everything. So sometimes I have to understand that this is just not the direction or his will that he has for my life. And just, being mindful of that and trusting and thanking God that whatever happened in that, rejection period, it was redirecting me to something else. And just really quick, I just thought about jobs that I was turned down from that I really wanted. And then today, the opportunities is so much more greater than those jobs that had turned me down, a while ago, or so I just see I just see a lot of I'm learning to be very grateful for the opportunities that's now coming my way through the rejection. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Serious K, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, those are my thoughts. Exact. Out of rejection come blessings. I think about a lot of rejections over my life that I've had, and it's like after I've been rejected, I'm so down and I'm so upset and disgusted. But then God opens up a new door and gives me a better opportunity. And I go, oh my God, I dodged a bullet. I'm glad I didn't do that. Or I'll go back and I find out like maybe I was trying to apply to get a car or something. And then I'll find out that, okay, that maybe this place was kind of like scamming people, or just you'll find out that it was like just some fraudulent stuff going on. Then you like, okay, thank God, I got denied that loan, or I didn't get approved to get that car, or whatever the case may be. And God is just, I look at it as God protecting us. He's just protecting us from those things. I can remember getting rejected from this apartment one time a long time ago. I applied for this apartment, and I'm like, what's she talking about? Background, and I owe somebody some money. I don't owe nobody no money. And I was so mad at those people. I was like, okay. So then I went to these other apartments, and it was just easy. It was quick and this and that. And then I had a client that lived in the apartments that I was trying to get into, and she came and she was complaining about the apartments, and I'm like, what's the name of those apartments? So I would never go over there, So I was like, girl, I want to live over there so bad. She was like, girl, you better be glad you didn't move. They don't fix nothing. They do this, they do that.
wow.
I was like, oh my God, thank you. I dodged
Yeah.
a bullet. So I'm like, God is always, I thank God for always having his covering over me and just
Yeah.
protecting me and watching over me, because there have been many times that I could have been messed up. We often think about rejection in relationships as well. We all can think about some guys or girls that
Yes.
we're like, okay, I dodged a bullet on that one. And sometimes, do y'all ever find yourself like seeing the guy, the person, with somebody else, and then you go, oh girl, you just don't know.
Yes. Yes.
You be like, oh, I wish I could tell her. But yeah, I look at rejection as God. Sometimes it's God's blessing, God's way of blessing us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is. It
Mm-hmm.
is.
Funny.
You know,
Yeah.
That's funny, Serious K. You said, "Oh, I wish I could tell her."
I know, for real. I be wanting to say something, but people think you hating, so I'm just like, I'm gonna just let them find out.
Oh my God. I've had that experience where I was definitely told in the beginning, warned, forewarned, and just exactly what you said. Oh, they're just hating. Those are the exact
Mm-hmm.
words that came out of my mouth. And, you know,
Yeah.
in hindsight, it was for my protection had I listened,
Yeah.
my redirection and my elevation had I listened. So you're
Okay.
absolutely right. Queen A, did you want to say something? I thought you.
I don't know what I was gonna say, but but I remember I was dating. Well, I wouldn't say I was getting to know someone, and well, actually, yeah, okay, I can say that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we in a way we're in a relationship. So I wanted to really, take the relationship to another level for a high commitment, and he didn't want to. He wasn't ready. And long and behold, maybe a few years later, he got involved with someone, and and he was cheating and still trying to come back, to me and everything. And I said, I thank God that I didn't get involved, because look at it, like he's
Yeah.
cheating. So I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where the person is cheating and go stepping outside the relationship trying to get with somebody else, because it shows like you're not content with the person that you're with, or maybe you just want to just have one night stands. I don't know.
Mhm.
But so again, I remember that experience was so hurtful to let go of that connection, especially when I wanted it so bad. I used to pray about, like, God, please, I wanted to be, with this person. And thank God that, now looking back at it, I'm like, Lord, thank you.
He knows what's best.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Uh-huh. And it's like, so now, like I said, I am so learning to trust God. And and sometimes it's our own mind that causes like the rejection, because we think negative about it. And
Yeah.
sometimes, in most cases, it is God protecting us from something, because we think that we know what we need, and that may not be the case. God knows what we need. And sometimes he's trying to give us more. I remember I was trying to go for a place, and it was an apartment. And I remember I keep getting prophetic words about a house, and I'm like, no, like, I'm single, whatever. But I remember being turned down for the apartment, and then next thing you know, I got approved for a house. I'm like, well, how the hell that happened? How did I get approved for, So God has a way to bless you, and He knows what you need, and I just thank God for that. And that's what I'm learning now. So when rejection comes, it hurts like hell sometimes, but I'm like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna trust you through this process. So.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of rejection, let's move over into being rejected out of, I believe one of you mentioned it, friendships, relationships, these
Mhm.
man-made cliques, or these organized groups. I won't call those names, but just think about the colors, popular colors of the world. But anyway, moving on, the status clicks. There are so many friendships um that have been developed, through clicks, and there's clicks, and the unfortunate part, there are clicks in churches, there are clicks on your jobs, there are, you know I mean, all over there's always going to be a group of people that believe and operate in a sense of thinking that they're better than others. And most of the time, I won't say every single time or 100%, but I can definitely say, the majority rules when it comes to clicks, where most of the time, the energy is low, the energy level is low of those clicks, and then they don't know as much as they appear to know. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. um I've never I'm not cliquish, and I'm not into clicks and all of that stuff. I'm very you know uh I'm just very forward. I have my own mind. I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I'm not the type that want to run after someone, or so anxious and willing to please or have people think of me as a people pleaser. So not so quick as that. And when I think of clicks, I think of all of that, all of the above. Um, Share some of your, I guess, thoughts and expressions when it comes to clicks. Serious K.
I think it's kind of like Nikki said, clicks are real childish, and you would think like, women of a certain age,
Yeah,
wouldn't be interested in cliques, or this group and that group, and because I'm better than you, or we got this and
yeah,
we got that, but it's so interesting. I remember when my daughter was dealing with friendship issues and clique issues, and
yeah.
and I was giving her advice, and I told her, I said, you know what, I say the sad part about it is this doesn't change even when you get older. The things
Hmm.
you're going through with your friends now in high school, you're gonna go through through that in college and into adulthood.
Hmm.
unless you completely separate yourself, and you're down to one or two friends,
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's like we get over to our 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they're still doing that. And I think the housewives shows kind of like these shows kind of what's the word I want to say, kind of bring this stuff on. People try to be like them and act like them, and these people, this just entertainment. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm.
And I'm friendly with everybody. I find myself friendly with everybody, anybody. I ain't gotta be in no clique. I ain't gotta be with this one. I ain't gotta be with the. If I like you, I like you. If I love you, I love you. You don't have to have a certain amount of money. You don't have to have little money. I don't care who you are, as long as you're a nice person. You're a respectful friend, and I mean, I'm pretty much good with everybody. Now, I do believe in, how people say you should surround yourself with people that are like minded. I believe in that. Because sometimes people can bring you down because they're always negative and talking down, and you like, I don't want that in my spirit, so I'm gonna have to try to push away a little bit. You try to encourage them and instill some positive things in them, and they still talking the same way. Yeah, you have to separate yourself from people like that. You do have to find friends that are like minded, that are talking about moving up, having goals, dreams, that are a little more spiritual. You're kind of
Yeah.
on the same level, but you definitely don't frown upon people because they have less, or you think they have less than you. That's just not the godly way. But clicks are happening. It's like it's crazy. I think it's the entertainment business that's bringing a lot of this stuff on. And it's sad that you got women in the 40s, 50s, and 60s that's
Mhm.
clicking. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Good response. Queen A.
Well, I'm in ATL. ATL is known for the clicks.
Oh God,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, because they be on the housewife shows too, girl, fighting
Yeah,
and
yeah. Our producer, matter of fact, just said she's a housewives highlighted the click friendships, and I remember before moving to Atlanta, someone that lived in Atlanta, she moved back to New York, but she said to me like New York is heavily, I mean like New York, ATL is heavily, influenced by clicks, and I remember moving here, and I remember working at a job, and I mean, like I felt like such the outsider, outcast, like because they had a clique, and I could not be a part of the clique because I was not from their area. I was from a different state, and so I mean, I ended up quitting the job because it got bad. Like it got to the point where it was just a lot of stuff going on just because of the fact that I was not a part of the clique, and so I try to be not. I mean, I try to be friends and try to connect, but I was like, hey, whatever. So it got to the point where we became enemies and we could not even work together. So, it's just crazy. But I want to read a quote that Albert Einstein said, even though he's talking about women, I think it's for everyone. He said, the woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before.
Mhm.
So I love that because that is very, 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 very true. And just to say really quick, I remember working at this job here in the ATL. And one thing they said, as a matter of fact, in New York too, one thing they said to me was they asked me to lead over something because they said they noticed that I don't operate and hang in cliques, because everyone on the job, they had a certain group that they would go to lunch with. And I just kind of mix and mingle with everybody. And because of that, they said you're not biased or, you don't operate in a clique. And because of that, we're going to ask you to lead over this or head over this because you see things from different perspectives and you're not just trying to side with one group of people. And Coach Shalana, we went to it was a church conference or business conference in New York, and it's like Coach I know how I am. Like I'm a networker. I will work the room like it's nobody business. Like I'm not just in one, set of people or set of
Yes.
group. I would just talk to everybody. I'm all over the place. I'm networking and connected with every single body.
Right.
Now I would say this. I wouldn't say I do believe in status, but status in terms of not necessarily just money status, but in terms of like Series K said, being with like-minded people. And then also people that's higher than me because I want to grow higher. And it's like I can't grow higher if I'm operating with people that's lower, that's lower than me in some aspects. So I do like to learn from people, which is why I mix and mingle with different, groups of people, different cultures. I love different cultures because I get to learn so much more about, the world, about myself, about other people. And that's how I grow in life. So I don't think people should operate in cliques at all.
Yeah.
I think it keeps you in a comfort zone. And I think people like to be comfortable. So they stay within a certain clique because it keeps them comfortable.
And some of that stuff is all about control, and it reminds you of like a mini cult type thing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's about control with clicks.
And I think even with certain organizations, you have to be careful because, you have to, wow, I just praise God with gifts that He's, embedded within me, and, talents, discernment,
Hmm.
oh my God, the gift of discernment, because you have to be careful with a lot of organizations
Hmm.
out there because, they will present status, a lot of them will, but at the end of the day, it's a huge click. I ain't like
Hmm.
how that sound. But anyway, it's a huge, of everybody following this one person that desires to be worshipped or, admired. It's always that one person that actually get someone that is not filled with self-confidence to kind of help them lead off this click, and then there they go with getting people
Hmm.
involved, and they build up this little their little group, and it's all about them, and they represent really nothing, like I said before, as
Hmm.
far as the energy level. I mean, if you really, you guys have been presented with, from, with people that are in cliques and how they want you to be a part, and the energy level is negative. I mean, it is really
Hmm.
nothing. And if you just, I don't know if you guys have ever, well, I know you, I'm there 40 some years. I know you've been approached, by individuals. And it starts off, and it's so sad, y'all, because it starts off in school. I would say in grade school. And of
Yeah.
course, it gets worse and worse and worse when we go to college. There are clicks in and out through, and it's so unfortunate. But there are groups,
Hmm.
there are organizations that only because of that name. But then when you're like, okay, look outside the world
Hmm.
to see what are they really doing? What are they doing? But they only say
Hmm.
I'm this or that. What are you doing in society?
Right.
You don't know it nothing until they
Hmm.
tell you. Like, oh,
Hmm.
okay. but
I've
they
seen women.
but they
I've.
really stand for nothing. Like, what are you doing in the world to
Hmm.
make a
Hmm.
difference, to make a change versus I'm this or I'm that, and I'm wearing this, this month because it's this, day.
Hmm.
Okay, and then they'll look down, even within themselves, the cliquish organizations within, will look down on each other,
Right.
but you
Hmm.
represent something supposedly, yet
Hmm.
you're looking down on your, regardless if they're not blue, like you are, but they're yellow,
Hmm.
look
Yeah.
down on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the definition of it all, and just looking at it and just giving like a real life definition to click, it's really low and it's really
Right.
worthless. So
Right. Right.
have you guys ever been approached by any clicks, and what was your response?
Well, I didn't know they were a clique until,
Until
I
after.
started like being around them. I'm like, and they start saying different things like, well, you should do this and you should do, and people like that get mad at me because I'm real strong minded, and I'll just play it off with you like, oh yeah, oh for real, and then they be looking for me like, what she said, and then they see me again. Oh girl, yeah, you should do. I said, oh, for real. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
all
And
day.
then they'll hit me with it again. I was like, girl, no, I'm just, no, I'm, yeah, yeah, you know? Oh, like, well, do you, girl? I have my little sayings. I be like, oh, do you, girl? Oh, that's I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. Do what works for you, girl. And then they start rolling their eyes like, oh, I can't get her. I can't get her. No, you can't get me. Because I'd rather be by myself. If this
Yes.
is what I gotta do to make friends, I always say I'm good with me and my it's just me and him.
Okay.
Because I cannot be controlled. You're not gonna do that. Mr. Bowens can't control me, so you definitely not. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many nuances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real sad.
Yeah.
What about Queen A? Have you? Well, I already know you better not come up with Queen A. Never mind.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell a story anyway because you said never mind. No, but no, I'm not. But anyway, I definitely have been approached. I mean, I would say, this is a very interesting topic. Would you consider the church a clique?
It's a
What?
bunch of cliques in the church.
Right. Right.
And so I've learned a lot about church cliques,
Yeah.
and I learned that it doesn't work for me. And I'm a very free spirited person, and I don't. How can I say? I want to be mindful of my words. I don't like to be controlled, like Series K said, and I think, oh, you matter of fact, you know what? That's what we have in common, ladies. That's why we all here together, work together. We do not like to be controlled.
Mm-mm.
Well, you know what? I don't think no one likes to be controlled, right? But some people, they're able to put up with it. But I have experienced that in the church, and I have experienced feeling like the outsider because I did not want to stay confined within the clique. And
Mhm.
but also I have been approached by certain groups of people when it comes to sexual experiences. So that I would say is a quirk. And I'm the type, and before I wouldn't say I was so strong-minded as I am today. Like today, I'm very outspoken and I will let a person know. And the crazy thing about it is because, when people meet me, I am the nicest person, I'm a sweetheart. But then it's like they don't know the other side to me that they later, learn to they get to know. And so I had people approach me thinking that maybe I was naive or gullible until they learn otherwise. But
Mhm.
so people try to approach me with, to be in a certain clique, to be maybe, switching partners or maybe same sex, so I have experience. I didn't say I have experience. I mean, people have come to me to experience that, to be a part of that clique. And so no, I absolutely not. Like, nope,
Yeah.
absolutely not. I'm not going to do it. And so yeah, so I have been approached, and I'm never been the one and never will be the one that a part of a clique. Now I would say the church I was going to, they do talk about being, belonging to a community, right? Because some would call it a community rather than a clique. And so
Wow.
they did use the words as belonging to a community and being a part of community, because the definition they gave was you get your identity in the community, or you get your identity in a clique that you're a part of, right? Because you kind of, this is who you associate yourself with, this is who you identify yourself with. So some people may say it as that, and that's a good thing too. But you got to be mindful of not just going, not just operating in just that clique, but then you want to go outside and learn different things.
Mm.
Mm.
Now,
Mm.
isn't it something, Serious K, that Queen A says she's free spirited? She like to do her own thing. Now, when we're at the conferences and I like to do my own thing, and if the cliquish people are looking for me, she sometimes will chase. Wait, she will look for me for them and say, "Hey, there she is over there," and I'm minding my own business, doing my own thing. Don't want to be bothered. Isn't that right?
No. Coach Shalana would go in the room. Like, I mean, we supposed to be going out to lunch, to dinner. She would go in her room, be by her lonesome self. No. We gonna go out. We gonna go. But so yeah, so she's, yeah.
I'm not into clicks. Anyway, moving on.
You know what? When I come to Texas, Nikki, Series K, we going out. Forget about Coach Shalana. She like the house.
Hallelujah.
Wait. Uh-oh, Nikki. Nikki said that's me. Uh-oh, Nikki. All right, maybe I'm gonna hang
All
out with
day.
Series K and her friends then.
Girl, it'll be me and you.
Right.
You know, you get older though, right? And you do like I've gotten on. My son forced me to go out yesterday. He was like, "Mom, you have to get out." And I do go out, right? Like I go out. I've been dating this guy, so we go out every week, and so I do get out. But I guess because I was in the house all week, and he's like, you know, he come to the house and he's like, "You here again?" First of all, I live here. Second of all, it's my house. And
Okay.
he's like, well, go out, you know, go out, mom, and enjoy yourself. And it's like, you know, I'm in my 40s now, and it's like I party so much, and I come to a point where I do like my alone space. I do like my time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when you have a focus, and I had to talk to my son about that. You have a focus, you know, you don't always want to be out and about. And so I am learning that as I get older, I am still a person I like to, you know, associate, you know, go out and meet different people. But I also like my time to kind of rest, be to myself, work on whatever I need to work on. So yeah.
I love being at home. And that's the
Yes.
thing that some of my friends get mad at me about though. It's like when they ask me to go somewhere, I have to look at my schedule and they get mad. They like, wait, what? You know, or they'll say, well, okay, well, what about this date? Well, what about that date? You know, you have to tell me like way ahead of time. You can't call me and say, hey, can we go out to eat tomorrow? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything I do, it has to be scheduled and planned because I mean everything. It has to
Especially
be.
when you're
So
married.
I'm telling you, especially being married. So that's why most of the ladies, like if you see me on the picture with ladies, we've been out to eat, they all married.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They all married. And so and they planned this a month ago. They planned this a month ago. They asked me a month ago because they know how I am. And like, let me ask her now because if we wait till tomorrow, she ain't going. And I just try to make people understand that, you know, like you said, I have a husband, I have a job, I have school, I have sleep I need to get. So
Mm-hmm.
even if it's nothing that I want to do, that nothing is scheduled in my plan.
Yeah.
I'm scheduled from this time to this time to do nothing. Sorry, I can't go.
100%.
Yeah.
Y'all speaking my language tonight. Yes.
Now, you know, it's interesting, right? Because it's like a serious case that you can plan the month ahead. Like I'm the type of person like it's crazy because the Virgo me is a planner, but the other side like is not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
No,
like I don't really like if somebody say, okay, and I say because I'm like, yeah, let's go out, you know, I'm like, yeah, let's go out, you know, like they plan a month in advance. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll be all excited about it. The day it comes, I'm like, I was trying to make excuses like, oh God, what
Oh,
can
you want to know? See, just say no.
I
I just say I learned to say no. I used to say yeah all the time, and then there would be me. Oh, so now I just be like, no, 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 no. What date? Okay, now we can do something in June. Okay, cool.
So I'm going to tell you, like, you got to like let me know, like, if you give me a month in advance, like, it's probably not going to happen, like, because most
Wow.
likely I'm gonna change my mind. You tell me a day of, or maybe the date in advance, then I could probably like, you know, like, okay, you know, because I can't change my mind about it.
Yeah.
But you give me a month in advance, I'm excited about it then. But then when that day come, I'm like, oh.
mm. When Nikki says she's an introvert, she's definitely speaking my language. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. Do I come across to you guys as an extrovert? Well, Queen A. Well, I don't know. Do I come across to you guys as an extrovert or an
You
introvert?
you can go both ways to me, in my
Okay.
opinion. You're both. As far as getting
Mm.
out, you know, of course you're an introvert, but you come across sometimes as an extrovert.
Oh,
I think for those that know you up close and personal, you're extrovert, but in out in public, no, you are definitely an introvert.
Hmm.
really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm an introvert. I think the extrovert side is on the other side, the professional side. Uh,
Mhm.
is professional side when I need to be, but
Mhm.
what I'm comfortable with is in my own little world and
Yeah.
just really, my favorite thing is movies, and I mean that is the highlight of my day, night, whatever is movies. I don't get to watch them a lot because
Mhm.
busy with life, and then you try to squeeze in some rest because you need
Mhm.
that to
Right.
the next day. But then when you, like Serious K, when you have that moment of scheduling nothing, my nothing is my,
Mhm.
and I am the type, I'm a movie freak. I will, go to the movies alone and be all excited and happy. I love horror movies. Can't really find a lot of people in my crew that likes horror movies.
Mm-mm.
You know what? Speaking of clicks, I'm gonna create me a horror clique.
You need to hang with mama.
Yeah, and we gonna be hanging out. We going to the horror movies, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? What my peoples? What my
Mhm.
people? I'm gonna have my own little horror clique. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm glad we had this conversation. But before we end the show tonight, we definitely want to get into this topic real quick. I think this is a juicy, spicy topic. Again, HMB fam, that my girls, Serious K and Queen A, they always got to be messing with one of those topics. So this one is dealing with marriages that could they last longer if there was some good treatment. And when we say good treatment, we're talking about good food, we're talking about peace. We're talking about some good loving. I mean, all is well at the crib, at the castle, when the man is being treated like a king and the woman be treated like a king, queen. Definitely the man. Can the marriage last longer if that man is getting everything that he so desire when it comes to good sex, good food, and peace? Um, I would definitely say that good food, I don't think that really matters now because so many couples do not have the time to cook and to really take care of the family in that way because of our busy lives. There are many that cook but not on a regular like they did back in the day, maybe when we were growing up. But
Mhm.
I would definitely say, so good food, I mean, restaurant has nothing to do with your wife, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, to me, that has nothing to do with the good sex. Clearly that has nothing to do with it, or we wouldn't have all these baby mamas and baby daddies. When it comes to peace in the home, yeah, I think that has a little something to it, but I definitely would go against this and say no, it doesn't. Good food, good sex, nope, that will not help the marriage last longer. So that's my answer on that. And you go, Serious K.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't know if it's. I'm trying to see how to put this because the question if men receive because I don't think the stability of a marriage doesn't depend on just the
Right,
sex and
right,
the food and the, peace, of
right,
course. Yeah, we all want peace.
right.
So I believe men and women alike, want peace and you want good sex. Some of us we ain't care. Some men will tell you they like, listen, I don't care if you don't know how to cook, as long as like you said, I come home, it's peaceful, I'm feeling loved and, and supported, and you letting me take my rightful place as the man of the house, as the husband of the home, then we're good. And the same thing with the woman, as long as you give us what we need and
Yeah,
make us happy, we're good. We ain't going nowhere. Now, if the person is just a right out a cheater, or a dog, they're a dog gonna be a dog. It don't matter because I've seen so many good women get mistreated and left and just put aside. So I think it just depends on the person, on the man, where he is and if he really wants the marriage or if he really wants the woman. Why is he there? Is he an opportunist or does he really want the marriage? There's a lot of questions that can go into this topic and a whole bunch of subjects that can come out of this topic. So yeah, I think that as long as we're all getting what we want and what we need, and that's why communication is so important. You tell a person what's important to you, what you want, and what you need, and you both compromise and just make a decision that you're willing to do whatever it takes to work and make the other happy. marriages, they can last. I remember this woman one time saying, at the beauty shop, she was saying that she didn't cook. And me and this other stylist, we were like, and this is when I was in an open salon a long time ago. And me and the other stylist, we were like, girl, you don't cook for your husband? She was like, no. She said, I asked him, listen, do you want, I'm not going to use the words that she used, but you can imagine what she said. She
Mhm.
said, do you want sex or do you want food? Which
Mm,
one is it? And
mm.
so we like, okay. So she was like, he cooked because he had to make up his mind. Basically, she
What?
was telling him, I'm not finna cook and give you some which one. So he cooked, and so he was like, okay, he made his choice. Like, listen, I want some. So I cook if that's a problem. So that's what works for them. They found
Yeah.
out what worked for them, and they both are happy. Sometimes you got to exchange. What the fair exchange ain't no robbery. So hey.
Right. That's Queen A. What do you think, hon?
Well, I've asked a few men. I know we're going to talk about this topic, so I asked a few of my friends. And first, Nikki, she's been married for a while, so she definitely would know. She said peace, respect, and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so I, spoke to a few men, a few of my friends, and um, I think it was five guys I asked, and two of them said that two of them said food, like food, sex, and respect. And the other three said they don't really care about food. So, it's just primarily respect, peace, good sex, of course. But this one guy I remember, um, it's like even in a good relationship, it's like he was always looking for more. So it's like, how some people just not fulfilled within themselves. So they can
Mm-hmm.
be in a relationship, but then still wanting something, like still not fulfilled in that relationship. It's like they keep thinking that something is better and keep looking for
Mm-hmm.
more. So although they were in a relationship, always thinking that something, like he's married, matter of fact, and he cheats on his wife. He stayed in long relationships, like his last, this is his third marriage. And so and his problem was always cheating, right? But all his marriages has been long-term marriages. And
Mm.
I think it's about 56 or 57, but all his marriages been long-term. However, this is what he said: definitely good sex, peace, respect, food, yes. But it's like he's always thinking that it's something better. And it's like not feeling content with the one that he's with. And of course, when you're in a relationship, you're not going to get every single thing that you want. Nothing is perfect. So that's interesting to know, like why didn't he feel fulfilled? Like what isn't? I think that was a internal thing, maybe childhood thing. I don't know what it is, but with him, he didn't feel fulfilled. However, he's a type that always need to be in a relationship. So it's almost like codependent. So
Mm-hmm.
always feeling like, again, like if okay, this is what it was. If he did not get attention in the way he wanted to from home, he would go outside and look for attention in other ways. And
Mm.
so again, he was never fulfilled, right? So it's like you can't get so much attention. So very
Okay.
codependent person. However, again, all the other men I spoke with primarily said good sex, respect, and peace.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you have
Nikki
it.
said 80-20 rule. He's looking for that 20%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I think sometimes that's the other is just extra. You know what I mean? It's just the icing on top of the cake. Because my
Yeah.
husband, he often makes a joke and say, "That's how you got me. That chicken. When you fry that chicken, you know." So I think the food just for him is the icing on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything else, I like to believe I provide everything that he need because he told me what he needed, what his desires were, and I meet those and I try to meet those to the best of my ability to make him happy. So I think the food is just like just the icing on the
Get
cake.
on the
Yeah.
cake.
He doesn't necessarily have to have me cooking all the time because every now and then he'll get in there and do a little something. But
Hmm.
it's just the icing on top of the cake. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
interesting. I meet most of the men that I was serious with. They've been cooks. Like my ex-husband, he was a chef. The guy I'm dating now, he's a
Mm-hmm.
chef. So this crazy because most of the men like that's they. I mean, I'm learning that that's not a big deal to them. But although
Yeah.
like it is icing on the cake, Kim.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's just
Wow.
yeah.
And make sure, yeah, that's all they care. Some, yeah, my husband, as long as he got something to eat, he all right. He like, whatever you cook, that's what I'm eating. Whatever you bring, that's what I'm eating. I don't care.
Yeah, sure you know your spouse, because every spouse is different and their needs,
Mm-hmm.
are
Mhm.
different. Now the main things a man need, of course, a main thing a man need is respect. Um, good sex is, is great, and
And that
food, like
peace.
like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's icing, but yeah, icing on the cake. But when it comes to peace and respect, and just supporting them with the things that they need, that's what's important. That's what
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
makes it last longer than
Mhm.
than others. So definitely get to know yourself and get to know what's good for you when it comes to your mate. What works for you,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to be lasting for you, and make sure you understand what's lasting for the person you decide to spend the rest of your life with.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
last marriage. Well, ladies, it's been fun tonight, HMB fam. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in and interacting with
Yeah.
us. You guys have a lovely, safe, and blessed week. We are out, and we will see you guys next
Good night, you
Saturday.
guys.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Remember to listen to our podcast on
Yes.
Apple,
Apple,
Spotify,
Amazon,
Amazon.
Spotify. Absolutely.
Good
Have a
night.
great week, y'all. Bye bye.